Hello, welcome everybody to another league with 4-color money tribal that's not as expensive as it used to be. Although maybe the Fairy Time Raveler is still expensive, but I don't know. Like Force of Negation is expensive, I guess, and Ren is also expensive. But yeah, money tribal. Expensive deck. Powerful deck. Second league of the day. Let's go. This deck has felt strong. It felt very, very strong in the first league. The only issue is the potential of flooding. I've also had a very slight issue with the lack of basic lands. Field of Ruin is not that great in this deck. We did get pretty against Tron though, and we beat Tron because of Field of Ruin. Field of Ruin plus Ren continues to be a sick combo against Tron, of course. But at the same time, it's one of those... Field of Ruin, it's kind of great in blue-white against many random decks, and it's probably not as great here. Because we run out of basics very quickly. Deck's good though. This card has allowed for some not-so turns. Really not-so turns. Alright. I don't think I've ever seen this avatar before. Goblin War Chief? Seems like a mighty fine hand to start things off. Double Path against a creature deck. Ren against the creature deck and to hit our land drops. Don't mind if I do. This is just Jessica control splashing Ren and Omnath. Yeah, if that's the way that you would like to see it. You can also look at it like Jeskai control, but actually playable. That's another way that you can look at it. But yeah, it's been pretty good. I thought Aus was best one mana removal in Modern. Have I been lied to? You have not been lied to. I didn't say that it was the best one mana removal in Modern. No, that's actually like I did say that. I did say that. But we have Lightning Bolt in this list, so it's fine. We have another very good removal spell, so it's okay. So maybe you might have been lied to, Parole. I'm honestly not sure. Ornithopter. Well, that's awkward, because I can't path this right now, so I can untap with a Ren, with a clean Ren. Well, this Remand is looking awful. Awful Remand. Springleaf Drum. Drum. Well, I guess I can Sacred Foundry. Sacred Foundry into Breeding Pool. Sacred Foundry, Path the Ornithopter, sorry. Breeding Pool, Ren the Memnite. My opponent has no attackers. I'm kind of into it. I'm not particularly excited, obviously, about giving my opponent a land at these early stages of the game, but I think that this is just a great tempo play, and we already have another path set up and ready to go, and then we get to untap. So even if my opponent plays the other guy, the 2-drop guy, we are still in fine shape here. Remand would look better if it were the old frame. Yeah. Fair. Hey Fran, I used to watch every day because before the Faithless looting ban. Can you explain the state of Sunhome in current Modern? What? That's hot. I have to assume that it's summertime though. The state of Sunhome, yes. Well, with the banning of Field of the Dead, you probably don't want to be... You basically need your Titans to actually win the game by themselves. And Sunhome does that. That's basically the explanation. Gustos, Remand... I guess this is what I would do. Like, my opponent has Thoughtseize, but I'm not going to be bringing in Veil of Summer. Even the Mana Leaks I don't like at all here. Looks like it's this deck. Wait, is it actually Affinity? Oh, wow. Bomat? Bomat with no red sources. The only way that they can crack Bomath is with Springleaf Drum and Paradise Mantle. That's hilarious. I don't understand why aren't they just playing a red land? Just Sacred Foundry. This is the list, by the way. Oh, and it's the same player. So I'm assuming that this is the list. They have Godless Shrine, but they have no black cards. So Godless Shrine is there only for Cranial playing. And Lingering Souls. Lingering Souls is kind of a sick tech, I'm not gonna lie. Like, Lingering Souls is gonna own us pretty badly here. Exclamation point Fran, exclamation point Fran, exclamation point Fran, exclamation point Fran. I'm gonna keep this and I'm gonna hope that I don't die. Exclamation point Fran, exclamation point Fran. If there isn't any Tempered Steel, I'm off it. Oh yeah. Tempered Steel is hella sexy. They already signed up to play Affinity. I don't know, red mana matters. Okay, so I guess that they 5-0'd with that list and it was just a punt. They just forgot to register the Sacred Foundry and they 5-0'd anyway. That is awesome. Oh, that is awesome. Thupter, thup, 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 thup. Signal Pest. Poggers. I think I'm just gonna let my opponent. I'm just gonna tap here. I don't know which land I'm supposed to look for just yet. That's not a good land to find. It's a land though. It's a land, so it's not the end of the world. I think I have more green sources and red sources, so I guess this should fetch for Sacred Foundry. Bomad number 2. It's been a minute since I've seen this card. I mean, the beatdowns are real. The beatdowns are real. The good thing is that even if my opponent prevents the damage with Burrington, we still gain the life. So that's nice. My opponent wants to crack and draw the 3 cards. That means that they basically discard the cards and they spend their turn. And it also means that my Snapcaster is still going to be in play. So, sweet. My opponent decides to not draw the cards. Cigar the Save is scary. Oh, no. That's awful. God damn it, I don't even have a command in my own channel. What is this? don't even have a command. Pro red means it isn't a legal target. Yeah, I'm not gonna target this, I'm gonna target this. This deals me 4 damage, this deals me 1. So yeah, I'm gonna kill this. My opponent can protect it. They can prevent the damage. But even though they can prevent the damage, that doesn't mean that they can actually do anything about it. Land? Well, right on time, reinforcements. We obviously can't beat equipment, but we have the ground kind of covered. And if we do get to untap, maybe we do get to do some cool stuff. That was certainly as timely as reinforcements can be, I'll tell you that much. Forge Tender is really, really destroying me here. Okay. Well, we obviously can't beat any equipment, so I'm just gonna double block here. Can't really block these dudes anyway. Wow, just resolved. Just found nothing off of the bowl mat. I mean, I guess that's how we win this game, right? Or how we get a chance at winning this game at least. That's bad. So we need to find exactly Path to Exile. Path to Exile one time? Path? It's not a path. This actually stops me from dying now, though, right? We played the Fairy. I bounce the Sigarda Sade, so my opponent can't go land into activate Inkmoth, into Colossus Hammer, into activate Inkmoth again. So we have to bounce the Sigarda Sade. We have to bounce the Sigarda Sade. And this means that the Teferi also means that they can't hammer at instant speed. We're not dead to the Signal Pest just yet, are we? We take 1, we block here, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. So we're not dead to the Signal Pest by itself. So bouncing the Sigarda Sade is the correct line. Play the tap land, say go. My opponent can kill the Tef. Sigarda Sade, that's fine. They equip on the Signal Pest, they take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, yeah, I didn't think about this. Yeah, this is actually lethal. All right, they got me. Yeah, mana just did not want to cooperate in the move to 5. How do we like the forces? How many blue cards do we have access to? We don't have that many blue cards. Yeah, we don't have that many blue cards. Force is certainly interesting though, because obviously what kills you is the hammer that you can force unless they Stoneforge it, and also Mana Leak is not particularly exciting when I'm playing for Path to Exiles and I'm gonna be wanting to path my opponent early and often. Polo Ventus, thank you for the follow. The build seems very creature heavy, but I still think that I'd rather have Force of Negations than Cryptic Commands. I don't think I agree with that, particularly on the play. It's more likely that we make it to 4 mana on the play, right? Hello. Welcome to the channel, Polo Ventus. Maybe Forces over Big Tef. And Ballon, thank you for the follow too. Okay. This hand does have a lot more reasonable mana, so we can go get Timor Triome. What do we want to get? I guess we get Timor Triumph and then we pass. So many follows. Time Walk 1, 2, 3. Also, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it, everybody. If you're new to the channel, of course, if you're enjoying what you see, you can follow the channel, get notified whenever I go live. I stream Monday through Friday, starting at 11 a.m. PST-ish. And then sometimes I start a little bit earlier, sometimes a little bit later, depending on other stuff. For example, on Tuesdays, we usually record the Titan Talk podcast. So if you're interested in Primeval Titan Talk, mostly, that is definitely the place for you. Cigar the Sade. I think I'm just getting Ketria Triumph. And then we can get probably Hallowed Fountain. Yep. I think I want to kill this right now. Because it's a Helix. I'm probably going to be saving my Mana Leak for the Lurrus anyway. It's bad if my opponent goes Pure Steel Paladin into like the 0-drop artifact or something like that. Do you think Melon is a turn format after the ban? No. There are still a bunch of decks that can kill you on turn 3. The Upsol Spells deck can kill you on turn 3 very, very reliably. Storm can still kill you on turn 3. We still have a bunch of turn 3 decks, but it's a lot more reasonable. I'll tell you that much. It's a lot more reasonable than it used to be. How do my next couple of turns look like? Because I can drop a Timely right now. Need to get my viewing in now while I'm still working from home. Looks like I need to be heading back to the office soon here. Okay, sounds good, Rod. Thanks for hanging out anyway. This wildfire is hella awkward. We do get full value off of this Timely if we drop it right now. The problem I have is if I hold up Mana Leak and my opponent just passes the turn on their end step, they just violin in the Colossus Hammer, we kind of lose. So I guess that I'm just gonna have to do this. We do gain our life, we do get our tokens. We do allow my opponent to have a little bit more mana efficient turn, but excited to have Kali start opening back up. Is that gonna happen? I live in California, but I'm not the most up-to-date person. This cannot get Sacred Foundry, which is awkward. Bowmat actually kind of sucks for us. They can't crack the Bowmat though. So I guess they're gonna be putting a hammer on this. Like, I'm definitely just blocking. Wonder if they don't play around force. I think I'm supposed to just slam here. Green. Yep. Green, red, white, blue. Awesome. So now we get to untap and def. So they need to find the trample equipment. We're definitely taking another chump here, no big deal. Just to play Purple NTG at the LGS, yeah, I really miss it. Really miss it. So my opponent can put a hammer in here, but that kind of doesn't matter, so it's fine. And we just take 11. They can't move equipment around with Paladin. Big draw step. Big draw step. Am I slamming Tef before I do that? I think so, right? I think we slam Tef, gain a couple of life, draw a card, hold up Mana Leak for the turn, and then like we keep on developing our board, and we have Mana Leak up too. Yes. This may be a little bit greedy. We can instant speed Wrath next turn. That's so sick. Hell yeah. Didn't think about that. So I would expect that my opponent is going to play around Mana Leak now. Which means I'm going to block here, and I'm probably going to block here as well. That's a good sign. I love how one of the cards exile is behind the Bowmat, and the other one is behind the Colossus Hammer. That's just beautiful. That's just absolutely beautiful. Okay, I think we got there here. Just casually chilling at 27 life, don't mind me. Just get a Triumph here? Yeah, they showed me one Sacred Foundry last turn. Last game, sorry. The most obviously telegraphed Supreme Verdict of all time. Just with mana from Omnath floating, just play Teferium plus instead of minus. Nothing to see here, opponent. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Nothing to see here. Nothing to be concerned about. There's nothing suspicious going on. I'm just chump blocking with my Omnath for no real reason. You don't need to worry about it. We also get to Wildfire the Ink Moth. This is just... This is just... disgusting. White. And white. And blue. And a colorless. Sup. That was cool. Are we just gonna keep winning? Is that the plan for today? Is the plan for today to just like win every single match that we play? How did we finish the first league? I don't know if I should tell you. We're probably gonna win this game. Foxy Hurricane, thank you for the follow. Gobo, can you hook me up here? Double Gobo. Gobo did indeed hook me up. So we're gonna be taking 3 from this Rift Bolt. So we take 3. We need to shock. We need to fetch shock. So we can go with the Steam Vents. We go with the Steam Vents. We bolt this. We path. We go down to 11. We don't go down to 8. And I'm doing this main phase because I don't want to go to this card. I mean, I'm gonna have to go to this card anyway, I guess. What is worse, Remand or Cryptic Command? Both of them are pretty awful right now. Spinning Cryptic. Why shock? Because I'm taking 2 damage from the Goblin Guide anyway. I don't have basic Mountain in my deck. Play that tapped, say go. Sarona, thank you for the follow. Mike Sarona. Is that what the name is about? No. Sing the same song, yeah, I know. It was pretty obvious, but you know, I don't know. Am I getting Triumph here? I mean, I'm getting one of the 2 Triumphs. I'm trying to think if I'm gonna need double white. Or I'm gonna need green. I think I'm gonna need green more than double white. Famous last words, right? Famous last words. Similar like we're late or something. I don't know. I wouldn't want to say something like that. What is this? Boris Charm? I guess I should have... I actually fucked up there. What I had to do is I had to Helix. I had to Helix there. Yep. I guess I could have Field of Ruined, their Sacred Foundry there. I mean, I think that we're dead if my opponent doesn't punt it away. And my opponent's been playing well, so I'm assuming that they're not going to throw it away. Yeah, with then having the skull crack and then playing around the Helix the whole time, there was no way for us to actually get around it, unfortunately. Force is good, Remand is awful, get that out of my deck. Ren is kind of bad. Teferi is actually very good. Omnath obviously very good. Verdict, probably know what I want to be doing. Something like this. Sure. This hand has fine mana. This time around we do have Force. If we had had access to Force last game, things would have gone a lot better for us, but fortunately I wasn't lucky enough. Land. Awesome. That was also a great top deck. Playing around Skullcrack, that's why I'm doing it main phase. Horizon lands were an absurd push for the deck for Burn? Yeah, I agree. I agree. Particularly because it's also mana fixing, right? It's just so good for a deck like Burn. Bodo's Charm on my upkeep. We could just gust this, which seems kind of okay to me. Like, I'm hitting my land drops. If I were missing land drops, I probably wouldn't do this. But like, I already have my land drops accounted for. Like, my opponent puts Bodo's Charm on top. So like, if they want to replay the same turn again, like, that's just great for me. Even there's nothing that I'm too afraid of if they resolve. Like, if they have something like Eidolon, we still don't care too much because we have the Purge in hand. Gin Tonic. That is such a great name. Thank you for the follow, Gin Tonic. That is awesome. That's a great name. That's such a great name. I love it. Yeah, my opponent's been playing very, very well. Definitely props to my opponent. They're playing beautifully out there. They're sequencing their spells properly. They are, you know, firing them off in awkward spots for me, so they're forcing me to use my mana in weird ways that I would rather not be using my mana on. My opponent is no slouch. My opponent is no slouch at all. They know what's up. They know how to navigate their way around. Oh my god. Donnie! With the 10 gifted subs. 10 gifted subs. Thank you so much, Donnie. I really appreciate it. All of you, welcome to the Primetime Stronghold. I'm going to have to turn the volume a little bit down because we're going to go deaf with all that. But yeah, Wilnet, Trisquitado, Big Ben Solivard, The Ghost Region, Traseth, T-Bane, Arbiter 4, Sputu, Rancid, Mind, and Alex Versola. All of you, welcome to the Primetime Stronghold. A massive pleasure to have you here. Thank you so much, Donnie, for supporting this stream so much. I guess I'm getting Sacred Foundry here. I saw it the same day I sub. Are days Donnie gift subs? Donnie has perfect timing. Donnie knows what's up. You know what I would love to find? Like a Teferi, 3-mana Teferi. I would love to find timely reinforcements would be nice now that we have access to the Aether Gust. Sure. This allows me to use the Celestial Purge, which is great. No locks. Purge your dude. It's not a worrisome situation just yet, but I would, you know, start to like to find one of my good cards here. Like one of the ways for us to actually pull ahead. Right now we're staying fairly even. We managed to counter one of my opponent's Boros charms. I guess I can snap Helix here. And then we can gust the Skullcrack. Seems like a good exchange for me. But I'm gonna go to blocks first. So now my opponent can't use a Lightning Bolt to save the Swift Spear. Though I guess even if they do, that's kind of fine for me. But this is gonna trigger. Yeah, there's the Skullcrack. We gust that. They did put Skullcrack on top. I think letting the trade happen was best. I don't think I agree. Like, I know that they're drawing a Skullcrack now. And now we can start blocking them. Now that we drew Path to Exile wheels, we can also answer something else too, which is nice. So we know they have a Skullcrack. Where's this? Helix? Nah. So the last card in hand is Skullcrack. It's not a bad one. It's not a bad one. Should have saved the fetch for Mystic Sanctuary. Yeah, my bad. So now we can actually path my own Snapcaster in order to gain 4 with this Omnath, which is nice. Galaxy Sphere. This time around, we are going to take the 1 point. This deck was insane with Sanctuary. It really was. It really was. Green, blue, red, white. Land, please. Easy. We just pass. Last card in hand is Skullcrack. So what we can do is we can fetch, but next turn we can just, like, my opponent doesn't have good attacks. And, like, I'd rather use this to gain 3 as opposed to anything else, basically. I'm okay taking 2 here. Does this just, I think this just resolves, right? Because I can just fetch on their turn. So this is just fine. We can bounce Snappy. I think we just plus. Like, what's my opponent supposed to do here? Fold of the Scred. Classic card. Even if I love Sanctuary, having control decks not being justified to play it out of the Magic forever is kind of nice. Now you have to find proactive way to close the game, and that's so nice. Yeah, it was just too free, right? It was just a little bit too free. That was the problem. Up to 10 life, thank you very much. Sounds about right. Do I want Anger? The only issue that I see with Anger is, I think it was Hello Spectre. The only issue that I see with Anger is that I'm gonna need to fetch Shock a bunch in order to have double red mana. Choices are good, cards that are too strong over these choices are bad. Yeah, exactly. Bad design. Yeah, for sure. Like, it was just too free to play Udo, it was just too free to play all of the nonsense. It's a lot more fun now. These summons are well trained, they always draw the fetch. Yeah, you gotta know, you know? I think Anger is better against Prowess, not worth it against Burn. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at as well. I think I'm going to go tap land here. But if my opponent plays an Eidolon, we get super owned. So I think I'm just going to play this. Like, I would definitely like to set up a turn where I can timely with Spell Snare backup. That's what I was trying to think about. But I think that the Eidolon just owns me just too badly. I can't really beat it. Yeah. Eidolon's just too good here. Please step out. Now you can play another Eidolon. Opponent too good. Carbo Live is still Titan. Oh. Fixed. So I think this is fine. I'm gonna spend this turn to kill the Swift Spear, I think. I'm trying really hard for my opponent to bite the bullet, and they just won't. Clearly, it's not their first rodeo. Clearly, it's not their first rodeo. They've been playing very, very well. So what I'm trying to set up here is a turn where I can Omnath plus land. And because it's a fetch, I'm going to be able to guarantee that I can gain 3. They have like 9 trophies, yeah. Not surprised. Not surprised. Been playing extremely well. And honestly, like, that's awesome. I love to be playing like a... I wonder if they're just gonna do the next level play, which is to Skullcracker right now. Boros Charm? They don't have a level lightning bolt. Just don't have double bolt, opponent. Don't give me that. They Skullcrack now. That is so next level. That is so insanely next level. I love that so much. That is genius. That is absolutely genius. So now do I have to upkeep do this? And I have to pitch the Jace to the Force? So freaking smart. Instead of letting me Omnath first, which then means I can play my fetch land and then I can get more value, they Skullcrack in response to the Omnath entering the battlefield, so I can never, even if I play a fetch land, I can never find the land. Because otherwise what happens is my opponent, I play my land, the life gain trigger goes on the stack, and I just fetch in response, so I do gain the 4 life. And my opponent instead Skullcracked in response to the Omnath itself. And that is so freaking good. I love it. My opponent is very, very good. They are not messing around. That was super tight. That was super, super tight. Good job, opponent. Very, very good job. They only have 1 card in hand, so if they top deck exactly Skullcrack, I think that they got me. But if they didn't top deck mind-blowing. Absolutely mind-blowing. That was the route. They need to draw exactly Skullcrack. And here they need to top deck exactly an instant speed burn spell. If they top deck exactly instant speed or burn spell, they win. If they don't, maybe we win. I guess I can draw two 3 mana, two 1 mana burn spells, I guess. Okay, now I'm feeling good. I don't think I'm pathing that. Veto is a good draw. Very well played for my opponent. Very, very well played. I'm impressed. They have 1 card left in hand. If I path now, green, blue, we still get to veto. Okay, so I guess I don't path, and what I'm gonna do... So I guess I attack, and then I play a second Omnath. Yeah, this is game 3. My goal is to leverage this veto to a win. So I'm just gonna play second Omnath here. No, I think second Omnath is better than Teferi Bounce, because I don't take damage from the second Omnath, and if I find a land, then we're gonna win. The problem with Teferi Bounce is that I bounce the Eidolon, and then now my opponent is not clocked by their own Eidolon. I know that I have veto backup, but if I veto in response with the Eidolon in play, we die. We die to any 1 mana burn spell. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. I think that it's correct for me to attack and just play a second Omnath. I think that's the line. Because this brings my opponent down to 5, which means that their Sandbake Canyon means that their Eidolon doesn't do anything anymore. But we don't take damage from the second Omnath. Yeah, if they block with Eidolon, yes, obviously, because I'm not taking any damage from Teferi, but they didn't. And I think that it's correct for my opponent to not block there, precisely. So that's why I'm going for this line. We keep the one that can block. If we find land here, we win. We didn't, though. Unfortunate. Them thinking there show how much Eidolon does to them. Exactly. Eidolon is a double-edged sword right now. Because if they don't kill the Eidolon, if my opponent attacks, I'm probably gonna block. Because that means that there's no way that they left Serum Blaze in their deck, and that means they need to use a real spell to kill the Omnath. And if I get a 2-for-1, actually a 3-for-1, because I trade with their Eidolon, they stay at 5. And then I don't have a clock, but I have Teferi plus a double Path to Exile. So maybe we can we can maneuver ourselves into a win from there. Rift Bolt. Okay. So bonus suspense, Rift Bolt. We're gonna attack first. I guess I should have played my land first. Okay. Land. And now we get to win. Wow, very well navigated from my opponent. Very, very well played. That was a great match. Yeah, that was an amazing match. A very, very cool match. Super well navigated from my opponent. And that's the difference, right? Like, everybody says, oh, burn is so easy, it's so stupid. It's like, I think that if my opponent were new to the game, we would have won game 1 very easily. And my opponent, and we would have won game 2 and 3, like, we wouldn't even have made it to game 3, because we would have won games 1 and 2 super easily. But my opponent was pacing their spells perfectly, always trying to make me, to put me into an awkward situation where I wasn't using my mana in the most efficient way. Very, very well played from them. Very, very well played. That was one of those case studies kind of matchups, you know? Definitely a case study kind of matchup. The delta between a bad burn player and a good burn player is pretty huge. Do you see the match in the Dredge Championship from this week when Guy cast back and concede? I did not. I don't know what you're talking about. You said pact, so I'm assuming that you're talking about some amulet match, but what was it? Dredge, probably. If I had to guess, I would say Dredge, I guess. Yep. Big yikes. Hey. That's a lot of power to play for free. Opponent, of course, properly putting a stop on my second main phase as opposed to my end step, so they can get their price amalgam and they get to serve for 3. Well played from opponent. It's nice. Today we're having some good players in the MTGO queues. Love to see it. Love to see it. Love to be playing some good matches, you know. So there we get to slow them down a little bit. I still don't feel like we're ahead by any stretch of the imagination. Particularly because, of course, Crippling Chill is a card, right? But I think we're gonna have to. We need an Omnath. We need something to stabilize here. We're not doing well. Yep, there's Crippling Chill. Think we'll lose this game without some hella good rips. We need Omnath. Without Omnath, we can't win because my opponent is just gonna race me before I get to kill them. So it's just gonna be pretty straightforward. Even Omnath might be too slow at this point. Even Omnath might be too slow at this point. Gonna play Merchant. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. Ice Stock. That's what I'm hoping for. In fact, we might be in a situation where we might not be able to. We might not be able to play the Teferi, and we might just need to make sure that we are. Brutal. That's really unfortunate. So I guess I'm just gonna have to chump block with Snapcaster Mage here. And we need to top deck exactly. Yeah, it's just exactly. It needs to be exactly Omnath. If it's not Omnath, then it just doesn't do anything. Show the sideboard. There's a deck list command, so you can. I'm gonna be going to sideboarding very quickly too, so You don't need me to show you the sideboard. Why hardcast Imp if you can just play a Merchant? Isn't this just like infinitely better? So we don't have enough mana, so I guess I'm just gonna play the fetch land, but I'm not gonna crack it. We obviously gonna have to tap and draw, we lose to Crip and Chill. Oh, they actually have Conflagrate. That's lethal. I guess technically I could draw Force of Negation into exactly Omnath. Yeah, that's not it. Where's that Omnath boy whenever you need it? What is my favorite MTG color? Colorless. Ah, green. Interesting, they did not play around Force of Negation. We died! Soul Guide. Ashiok. Anger. Timely. Gustos. And that's it. Bolts. Path. Okay. Lands are colorless. Yep. Good point. Good point. Lands are colorless. Oh, there you go. Thank you for that. I totally forgot that I had muted myself. Well, we're definitely remanding here. It puts stuff in my opponent's graveyard, but I really have to find another blue source. Land one time. Brutal. We do have force here, so this is not horrendous. Should I have draw step that? Maybe. Speech to fairy. Seems like Jace is just gonna be better. So I think I have to do this here. If they have a mountain, they get a Bloodghast back, but like I just need to make sure that at least they don't get the Amalgam. And I really need to make sure that I hit my land drop. 1, 2, 3. Ashiok. And I think I want a minus on myself because I'm playing Snapcasters. So, first of all, we have white. Let's find the red source. And again, I'm playing Snappy, so I'm gonna do that. Point against to clock the Ashiok here, but then we untap and we probably Jace minus the Ghast. Well, that's bog. Seems a lot better. Yep. The idea is we do this here. My opponent can't fetch. They can't do anything. And then we have multiple blockers for their Ghast. Then we start Jacing. So that's how it feels to cast Ashiok and to completely destroy your opponent. Huh. Good to know. Doesn't feel that bad. Doesn't feel that bad if I'm being honest. Alright, give me the sweetness. Give me 2 sideboard cards, some lands. Wow, I guess I got exactly what I hoped for, I guess. Those are not the sideboard cards. I guess I should have been a little bit more specific, huh? Those are not the sideboard guys I was hoping for, but is this a trap? Is this hand a trap or is this hand the real deal? How do you feel the deck? It has felt very good so far. Is this hand a trap or is this hand the real deal? Opponent goes to 6, by the way. Next thing we know, they're on full Blood Moon main. We don't care about Blood Moon that much, honestly. We care about just dying to an army of things coming back from the graveyard. The issue that I have with this hand is that it needs more, right? Like this doesn't win the game. Like this hand needs more. So I think I'm gonna ship it. Like this hand wins the game. You know what I'm saying? This hand actually wins the game. We are missing though a land to cast the Ren, but I think this is gonna be okay. Like we have our late game kind of set up for us. So I think I'm shipping the land. Thank you for the follower I3 Ovin. I think I'm shipping the island actually. As weird as that might seem. And I'm gonna go turn 1 Misty. Sure. Name Ashiok. This means we're not gonna be able to Helix on 2, but if we find any green, I'm gonna fetch for Ketria Triumph, and then if we find any green or red source, we're fine. Because we get red going. Okay. Hardcast Imp. Blood Moon. Hardcast Imp. Well, I actually don't want that to go into the graveyard, so I'm just gonna let that resolve. Alright, we really need to find a land here. I'm okay with taking one. This is acceptable. Wow. Why can't I see the other half of this card? I guess I gust this. Put it on the bottom. Yeah, that sucks. That one actually sucks. Wusa, thank you for the raid. Welcome everybody from Wusa's stream. We're playing a spicy little number here. It's been pretty solid so far. I don't want to play the Ashiok just yet. Like, it's only going to stop my opponent from fetching, so I'd rather hold up Mana Leak. If he just plays against my deck, it's possible. So I think I'm just going to Helix Face, just so I can use my mana and I can keep my life total high. Sweet. I just slam it, right? Slam the Ren. Plus on a fetch. Get the party started. Like, my opponent's been doing nothing for like a bunch of turns now. Shriekhorn. I guess that's fine. This is super awkward game. This is a super awkward game. Yeah, we're gonna play the Soul Guide here. We do have Force of Negation for my opponent's turn. We do get to play the Ashiok, which is nice. Yeah, we just Triumph. Get field. Oh, we can't Ashiok. Whoops. That's right. Black is the only color that this guy doesn't make. I almost forgot about that, huh? Seems okay, though. Mistakes were made, but it's not a big video. Next turn, we're going to start fielding my opponent. Alright, Ox of Aganas is good. Ox of Aganas is really good. Oh, I forgot. Oh, damn it. I wanted to leave it stop on their draw step. Although I guess that this is fine. Like, they can exile their entire graveyard. Like, we just have Soul Guide, so it's fine. This seems honestly just okay. Like, if they want to Ox, that's just fine. Hardcast Stink with Imp. That is also acceptable. I can double ping. I can double ping and then exile my opponent's yard. We only get one shot at this, though. I think that's okay, because that means that they go down to... Because we get to swing with Colonnade too. Newly controlled. Keep this. Ping there. And now just by hitting land drops, we kill my opponent with Omnath. Ugh, creeping chill. Stupid and sexy chill. Honestly, worst trip probably looking great. Super weird how Ren is randomly insane here. This force on the conflag is gonna be hot. Should he force the Shriekhorn? There was definitely a possibility. I don't think that's what I want to do, though. It does feel like this staring contest favors me. Because this card is just messed up. Those seem acceptable. Don't mind if I do. Those fetch lands don't do anything because of Ashiok, but I still need to... I still think it's good for me to do this. That's the worst land in the deck to draw there, right? Because that means now I can never trigger Omnath. Brutal. Probably still worth it to play Ponza here. If they conflag, I force the conflag. And now we can leak the Ox, which is nice. Opponent doesn't want to play anymore. Turn 10, obviously not playing Titan. Jason, we are kicking ass with this deck today. It's been 3.5 hours, and I've been trying to lose, and I just can't. I just can't. I don't know what's going on. My opponent seems to be a black-red aficionado of sorts. Graven Kerns. Oh yeah, it's a high-value name for sure. So I'm assuming it's some form of control deck. It's a nice one to pitch to Force of Negation, I guess. What do I think about Jeskai Ultimatum in this deck? The memes are strong, I guess. That's what I think. Ren and Tix. Unfortunate, but yeah, we have to force this. Actually, I should have played Field there, right? My opponent has infinite ETB tap lands. Just infinite ETB tap lands. Do I just jam tap? No, I don't jam tap. Not here. That means for Kotal? Maybe. I don't think that you can... that you really want to be trying to fit the whole Stoneforge thing alongside Ren and Sixes. I don't think that's what you want to be doing. I guess we're missing land drop, which means that we blinked first, which puts us at a very, very heavy disadvantage, I think. But I think that our cards are just pound for pound better than our opponents. Oh, speaking of cards that are pound for pound better, look at that. Just look at that. Pound for pound better. Good old Colonnade. Well, this one's not looking so hot. I just can't jam into Cryptic Command. Like, I'm already pretty far behind here on land drops. Remember when Colonnade was $60 card? I do remember. All I can say is I definitely ended up paying way too much for my Colonnades. I'll say as much. That's actually not true, because I bought them when they reprinted them in Ultimate Masters, I think. So I guess I didn't pay that much for my Colonnades. Maybe paid like 20 bucks or something. Though, to be fair, 20 bucks is probably way too much. I know, I blinked. Maybe I should have tried to Teferi there. Because Teferi allows me to hold up force. Royal Silence. Wow. What am I doing here? I can hardcast force. I think we do that. We're gonna hardcast force. And then I guess we're gonna force Peachy Mana Leak. And then we're probably gonna lose the fight because my opponent's gonna remand their own thing. There's no way they have Veil in the main deck or Dispute. Hello there. Force Pitching Borrower. Oh look, we're actually ahead now. It kind of feels like my opponent threw at some point, right? They were very, very far ahead at one point. And now they're not. Oh, Colonnade's gonna get frisky, don't worry about it. You know it that Colonnade likes to get in there. Maybe it was worth it to shock there. I don't know. Race lol 123, thank you for the follow. One mana Colonnade activation is hot, yeah. 4 islands, 1 forest, 2 mountains is my opponent's mana base. So I think we're gonna start fielding them. Mike and ASP think of the follow too. You think Omnath will get banned? Nah. Omnath will not get banned. Lightning Bolt. And Lightning Bolt. Snapcaster Bolt. Okay. I mean, honestly, it feels like Ren is significantly more threatening than Omnath by a lot. Not bad. It's definitely confusing. Like, my Omnath wasn't really doing anything. But my Ren is drawing 2 cards a turn? They also drew 2 cards there. This is non-land, right? Yeah, non-land permanent, sweet. Was making color activation cost 1 too strong? Yeah, you're right. I mean, we're joking about Colonnade, but it's kind of insane here, right? Like, if my opponent plays another Royal Scions, we can actually pressure it very, very effectively. My Colonnade's kind of hot here. So all the forces are in the yard, so we don't really have that much that's too threatening, but my opponent kind of needs to answer this Ren right now. What is this? Hardcast Shark. So we bounce here, we get a land, and we... Oh, we can just do that too. So Big Tef minus and Shark Typhoon. And... Turn Triumph, I guess. Given the shifting meta, do you think I could rise through the ranks and become a crime lord? I don't see why not, Crab King. As long as you believe in your dreams. You just gotta believe in your dreams. So we're on tapping 2. Is this attack just free? I think this attack is just free. I think we have successfully entered garbage time. Yep. Okay, mirror match. Gustos, answer Ren. This is good. This is good. These are good. Do I want Purge? Purge answers Ren and nothing. Oh, it answers Royal Science. Okay, so I kind of like, do I like Purge? I just, it's more like I don't like Path to Exile. Bolt is okay. My opponent has a bunch of nonsense, planeswalkers and stuff. Romance are great in control mirrors. Helix, maybe not so much. Gus seems man this matchup. It counters. It deals with Royal Science, Ren, potentially Veil of Summer, Icefang Quaddle. I disagree that it's meh. I think it's pretty good. Is this okay? Is this worth being in my deck? It kind of feels like it should be, but I'm not sure that it's better than everything else that I have going on. Command is too costly. You can find ways to leverage Cryptic Command in the control mirror. I don't think it's a bad card. Basically, we just have to dodge turn 2 Ren. And as long as we manage to dodge turn 2 Ren, we may be in okay shape. I don't think Ashok is terrible, but... I know, this hand is terrible, but it has exactly what I want, which is chip interaction and land drops, so... If my opponent doesn't go exactly turn 2 Ren and 6, I think that we are probably gonna be okay with it, with a hand like this. Spell Snare. Okay, can't complain too much about that one. Just no Ren, no Ren, no Ren, no. Yes, it's not Ren on 6 mana. That is not Ren on 6 mana. Purge for Ren. Yeah, I was thinking about it, but I think that Gust is just better than Purge. All the colors of mana. Talk to me. Talk to me. Missing land drops. I see ya. I see ya, opponent. Oh, it's not bad either. Be wary of Cyber Moon. I mean, I guess technically my opponent could be playing Blood Moon. I doubt that it's very good. We totally get owned if they have Blood Moon for sure, but it's possible they G-baited me there, but with them missing land drops, like the value of just doing that is so high, right? Yeah, things are looking good for the home team. I think I'm gonna wait maybe 2 more turns before I slam something, because my opponent probably has a very, very reactive hand right here, and I don't want them to be able to leverage that reactive hand and exchange their cards. So we're hitting land drops, we're doing great. Has this deck been putting up results? Not that I've seen. Yeah, Snake is fine. Interesting that they didn't main phase the Quaddle to try to hit a land drop. I would have probably attempted to do that at least. 2, 3, 4. We could Jace. We could Omnath with Veto plus Veil backup. I think I like Omnath. Actually, I think I like Jace. Because I don't care too much if it gets countered. Okay, we're going for it. So this mana leaks my Veil. So the question is, do I want to draw a card? I think I'm gonna actually mana leak the Remand. I think I'm gonna mana leak the Remand because I don't want my opponent to be the one drawing the card. Nah, I guess I'd rather draw the card myself. And I'm gonna play around Lightning Bolt here. My opponent's obviously looking for lands. Remand at the bottom. No, Remand is fine. You can have a Remand. So it's basically, do I want us both to draw, or do I want none of us to draw? That's basically what we were trying to figure out there. And I think that I'd rather both of us draw, but maybe I'm wrong. Why is my opponent targeting me with Ashiok? Like, I'm super into it. Like, now it's just straight up dies to the Omnath trigger if I get there. Also, I have her Jace to my Sculptor that's resolved now. My opponent has a Remand. They're tapping off of Remand for Ren. Renmand. So I don't really care about... I don't really care about not getting a land, but do I get to shuffle the top card? Does anybody know that? I think I don't. Donnie gifting a sub to Crab King. Thank you, Donnie. Appreciate it. I do shuffle? Okay, good to know. I'm thinking that the ability just gets cancelled straight up. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's not how it works. Sasa GG Sasa. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, I think that you can search, so you just don't shuffle. But I'm just honestly, I have no idea. Why is my opponent plussing on me? Like, thank you. I was gonna have a dead draw step, and now now I'm actually looking at a fresh new card. Thank you, opponent. Much appreciated. Why do people not think? It really blows my mind. Like, it really blows my mind. Like, what did you get? Now I can just easily bolt your Ashiok. Why are we in this position? Sure. Like, your Ashiok could be at 5 loyalty right now, and I would need to be making some very awkward trades in order to get rid of it. And instead, I am just trading with my dead card. And you're just remanding 1-drops. Why? Was that worth it? Was that worth it, opponent? I don't know, maybe it was. So I think the plan here is gonna be to gust this red and 6. Should you be playing this deck? Yes, Evan, you should be playing this deck. It's been nice. It's been nice so far. Late on this, but yeah, yes, you can still activate the eligibility in order to shuffle your library according to one of the rulings under the Carding Gatherer. Okay, thank you, Jason. I appreciate it. Oh, things are looking up. Things are looking good. Free to ferry, don't mind if I do. Oh. I guess that the one land that was left was a plains, huh? Whoopsies. Well, that sucked. So I guess we just pass. Because we can Cryptic plus Force plus Gust. Do I care about the 2-1? I don't, right? So this is just an Archmage's Charm. I guess I'm just gonna counter draw. Another Snapcaster? Sure. So here they can remand their own Snappy. Remand their own Snappy. Even if they have Veil, we get to gust it, so it's fine. Oh, sweet. That's low-key an okay draw right now. Blow up my land. I guess that we can gust this Quaddle here, which is pretty funny. Oh no, I guess that I do have a basic plains left in the deck, so let's shuffle for that. So now we can gust something. Oh, we also gain 4 life, sweet. What's more tilting? Those are the questions that keep me up at night. Mismatched fetches or white bordered fetches? Those are the questions that keep me up at night. I had luck. Hello. Disdainful Stroke. Wow, remember this one, chat? That one was a card. Wow. I've totally forgotten that that card existed. It's kind of cool, though. Where are my Rens and where are my 6s? That's what I would like to know. Standard staple. Yep, I guess. This guy's been working overtime right here. Putting down 1 card. We do have access to Snapcaster Bolt here. Cryptic Command, tap all creatures, draw a card. They're going for it. Going at the Jace. I guess I should have done this before the Cryptic resolved. Pink Mercy, think you're the follow. Might as well do this right now. Omnath is balanced right. Feels like sometimes it's a godly, but I'm unsure. Nah, Omnath is perfectly fine. Now it's perfectly fine. Let me rephrase that. Now Omnath is perfectly fine. Not when it was paired up with Uro, maybe it was a little bit too much, but now it's perfectly fine. Pew. Yeah, we're in garbage time already. We are in Jace plus time. I guess gusted. So you can have that. Not gonna lie, I wasn't thinking about this one. Fortunately, we have literally everything covered, but this one might have gotten me. Almost. Almost got me. Draw 2. Do we just remand that for fun? We can snap force it. I think we just remand it. I honestly don't know if I have any fetchables left, but I'm gonna fetch and I'm gonna find out that way. We have Magic Sinkhole. Okay. I guess I know that they have rain, so I should have let that resolve. Anyway, whatever. GG's opponent. This for colors, you good option for controllers. I mean, I'm 9-0 right now, so I'm okay. I'm a little bit biased, maybe. I just secured the 9-0, so maybe I'm a little bit biased. Maybe a little bit biased. Yeah, people don't know it about me, but I really enjoy playing control decks. I really enjoy playing control decks. Everybody says, "Oh yeah, that's the Titan guy," but when I'm not casting 6 mana 6/6s, this is most definitely my preferred way of Magic. Titan is a control deck. Exactly. One of us. Exactly. Evan knows what I'm talking about, right, Evan? Evan knows. Donnie also knows what I'm talking about. Exactly. Why do you think that? Why do you think that I liked Timur Giants so much? Right. Some update for this list. Not really. It honestly, it has felt to me that it's very, very, very well built. Like, there were some holes that I thought that the deck might have, and they are, all of them are in some way or another, they're kind of covered. So, like, I think this deck is super, super well built. The sideboard is the only thing that could change. Like, I don't think that you need 2 Veil of Summers. Seems like a little bit of overkill for my taste. It's a very powerful effect, but like, you're using it in control mirrors, and that's it, right? This deck just a collection of all the best cards in the format and not dependent on one card to succeed? Yeah, exactly. It sucks, right? Crab King. Gonna run it tonight too, I think. It looks sweet. Was thinking the Scapeshift version, but this is sicker. I think the Scapeshift version is terrible. I think the Scapeshift version is quite bad. And I think this one is pretty good. So I think that we may be playing against some kind of like Squirrel Blade spike nonsense. Maybe I'm just wrong though. I'm super wrong. How can anybody be this wrong? I don't even know how anybody can be this wrong. hella wrong. So I'm gonna Teferi minus on this dude. I should have totally slammed Teferi last turn. And we can find, we could have drawn Path there, so that's why I didn't want to play my land preemptively. So I want to make sure that, because now my opponent can company into the nuts and I lose. The good thing is that even if they company into the nuts, I'm still not dead, which is cool. So that's awesome. Because we can actually beat Infinite Life in multiple ways, which is obviously great. So red, green, this guy, ping you, fetch land, go. So we can't counter company, but if my opponent has the combo, we can actually swap it, which is nice. Apparition for Ren, probably, I would imagine. Yep. Just gonna helix this dude. Start beating down with a 2/2. The clock. Give me that colonnade, baby. I need to speed up this clock. Give me that colonnade. Colonnade me up, baby. Oh, I tapped extremely poorly for this. I guess my opponent solved it. Well, this is a matchup that we're not particularly well prepared for. Not particularly well set up for this matchup specifically. Is an apparition too high power? Yeah, it's busted. .5-0 prediction. I don't know how to do the prediction. Can somebody teach me how to use predictions? I think it's here. I really have no idea. Is this a down Tikashio stream? We got an Ashio command, if that helps. Heliod seems tier 1 right now. I was just trying to think of good cyber cards against it. Yeah, 100%. I think Heliod is bar none the best deck in the format. And I don't think it's particularly close. I think it's Heliod up here. Heliod up here. Gap, Prowess, Shadow, stuff like that. Gap, the rest. Everyone who votes no is banned? No. I mean, that's a lot of pressure, folks. That's 36k points in the line. Whew. This is a very, very meaningful match that I have in front of me. I don't know if I can handle the pressure, chat. But this. All right, you're gonna have to tell me: is this a keep or not? Is this a keep or not? We are on the draw. We have early interaction. We have a sweeper to clean things up, and we have a Ren. So we have a lot of the stuff that we want, but the mana is not doing it. The mana is not doing it. On the draw, we think you keep. Yeah, but this seems like a trap keep. Hard mole. Okay, how many moles do we have? Give me mole or keep. Any land is not good. It needs to be a red or green land. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 more. We got 1 kappa keep, 2 kappa keeps, 3 keeps. That's a lot of keeps. Jeez. That's a lot of keeps. YOLO keep. Okay, that's too many keeps. That's too many keeps. We're gonna risk it for the biscuit. Alright. I was asking because obviously we're gonna hit it, of course. Why would we ever not hit it on the very first draw step? Why would we ever not hit it? Like what were we thinking, right? I guess I'm gonna get blue-red here. Now the question is, do I minus? I think I actually plus. I think we plus because we can't afford to miss on our white source. We can probably minus next turn, but if my opponent has apparition and the apparition might ran, we get super destroyed. Broccoli Osiris, thank you for the follow. One step ahead, chat. You gotta always one step ahead. Always one step ahead, chat. This is awesome. This is awesome. What are we minusing on? What are we doing here? We can Teferi. Teferi Plus is interesting. The problem is that if I don't run minus, I am not setting up my verdict. So I think I'm going to Teferi minus here. I just a Ren plus. There's literally no need to path the ballista. If my opponent wants to trade an attack and a ballista, in fact, I can even path the apparition, I can block the ballista for free. So my opponent gonna go for the nuts. Good heads with Rain are so powerful in every deck that plays them. Yeah, this is a pretty fucking powerful card. Pretty damn powerful card. No arguments there. Double Ariok Champion. Why is this in my opponent's deck? I have no idea. No attack with the ballista was pretty good there from opponent, right? I think we have enough lands now. We can just take this trade. We can start to set up Supreme Verdict. So just plus here. And I'm gonna play this. My opponent doesn't know that I can't fetch a white source with this, right? And if they don't do anything, we just go get a Triumph. Why no fetch verdict plus keep Ren? Just explained it. I don't have a white source. I don't have an untapped white source that I can fetch with Misty Rainforest. This is the one. Bounced operation keeps me at 2-2. Oh man, I missed that interaction. You're right. I tapped it in, as I said. Yeah, it's confusing. Like there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff. Temple Garden, you should have one. Not my list. I just copied and pasted it, and I honestly think that it's just fine. I don't think that you really need Temple Garden. The red splash is super small. Sure, you get a Heliod. That means they get to kill my Tef, which kind of sucks a little bit. Or maybe not. You know what? I kind of want to pass the Heliod now while the getting is good. Lacking these white sources here is kind of brutal. I mean, I don't have to tap the team just yet, right? I can wait for my opponent to do something. It's not like I have to pass the Heliod on their upkeep or anything. I can just wait to see how they attack. Like last turn, they did an attack that did not kill my Teferi, right? So they might do another attack that doesn't kill my Teferi here, which means that I just don't need to do anything. I can verdict right now. If I verdict, the fairy survives. Wait. If I verdict now, we kill all of these three. The fairy survives. And my opponent can make infinite life, but it doesn't matter. Or I think we just Wrath. I could path if Heliod plus bounce this, but like we can just Wrath here. We get a random 2/2. My opponent can make infinite life here, but that's whatever. We don't care. They can get a ballista. That's also fine. We also don't care. Sure. We have very many ways to beat infinite life. We can beat it through Teferi 5, we can beat it through Jace Ultimate, we can beat it through multiple ways. Helix is great, actually. Plus, play land, red, white. Helix that one. Here we go. Let's see what they find off of this. Sure, none of those matter. So now we path. I guess it doesn't matter which one we path, right? Bingo. So put this back and this back. So we're gonna path that. Keep getting purple screens. Yeah, I've seen people saying that, which really surprised me. Like, I don't know what that's about. So now they pass the counters over to the other guy. And now in response to the last life gain. So they gain the life, they're gonna target the birdie. I think I haven't. Did I blast the fairy this turn already? I don't think I did. I guess we're gonna find out now. 5 Crawler, Yuri, and Valky Omnath, yeah. That's the strat, though. That's the strat. Oh, did I? Damn it. Well, forgot to fetch before minusing my fairy, like an idiot. Like an idiot! This challenge has... I have kick Wade, but not kick W. Why do I not have kick W? We should have kick W. This is a kick W friendly channel. Certainly a kick W friendly channel here. We need to keep Ballista from Solville. There's Walking Ballista, Walking Ballista. My opponent is out of Ballistas. So we're good. So probably ship this and ship this. Land. Fetch. Lanes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Big Tiff. Just casual back-to-back trophies. Just casual back-to-back trophies. This deck is just unbeatable. I think this is the best deck in the format. And if you're not playing this deck, you're a fish. That irritates me so much. If you're not doing X, you're just terrible. Everybody, that's not me, that doesn't agree with what I'm saying right now. Clearly what I'm saying is the only truth. Anyway, Direwire, thank you for the follow. So all the believers, rejoice in your earnings. This deck fucks. This deck fucks. So if you're into this sort of deck, if you like control decks, I know Evan likes his control decks. This deck is legit. This deck is definitely legit. The Udo banning obviously nerfed it. Nobody's arguing against that. The Udo banning obviously nerfed it. That doesn't mean that the deck is still not completely, just very, very good. It's very cool. I strongly recommend it if you're into this kind of deck. I do think that the main deck is very clean. I like the main deck a lot. Not so sure about the sideboard. The sideboard is a little bit on the sketchy side, and of course, there's the mana base issue, right? Like you could potentially build the mana base a little bit better. There were a couple of situations where we were lacking some white sources in the early game. There were some situations where we were lacking red sources, so I wasn't able to Ren plus Bolt off the cross. Thing with the follow. But as you can see, like a lot of the, you're basically blue-white base, and then the only things that stretch your mana base is when you want to turn to red. If you don't want to turn to red, it kind of feels like you can just play a blue-white straight-up mana base. So maybe you want to always start with Rolling Triumph, and then kind of take it from there. But you're gonna see that the red splash is a little bit bigger, but like the green splash is super soft, right? Like we only have 6 cards, and then some veils from the sideboard. So when we played against the control deck, when we played control mirrors, the Veil of Summers in the sideboard were a little bit sketch in that maybe we wanted to protect an Omnath, or maybe we wanted to protect a Ren, and then we had to plan that multiple turns in advance in order to make sure that our mana would function when it came there. So it's not easy to play, and the mana base was the hardest puzzle to figure out. Field of Ruin is not as good in this deck as in other decks. Number one, because I literally just said how tough your colors are, but also because you run out of basics fairly quickly. So it's not like you can just go nuts against opposing controlling decks or stuff like that. So that is definitely something that you want to be watching out for. What else? The spell suite felt very good. And we did beat combo decks. We did beat mirror matches, or like controlled mirror matches. In fact, we played against control like 4 times or maybe 5 times. We beat Tron and we beat Burn. Like we all over the spectrum. We beat all of those decks, and it felt very good against all of those decks. So clearly, the deck is powerful. Is doing something very, very, very impactful. Like you're not messing around. Right? Like every single one of your threats, whenever it gets, if it resolves, it's gonna be able to just take over the game very, very easily. And this guy is still busted. This guy is still very, very good. We didn't get paired against stuff like Spirits, for example. I would be expecting that Spirits is a rough matchup for this deck. But yeah. I can rent taking out a Force Negation. What is a suggestion for cutting Force? Yeesh. Well, I mean, for all of the things that I said about how your mana is awkward, Force is kind of always fine because, it kind of fixes the mana because you don't need the mana. So if I were to cut 4s, can you play a couple of forces? Because I don't think you can cut all of the forces. If you're cutting all of the forces, your deck is just not gonna function. But if you're cutting maybe like 1 or 2 forces, like just cut 1. I don't think you can cut more than 1 force probably. And if you are, I don't know, you could play like another mana leak or something like that. Obviously your power level is going down significantly. Is Helix good? I mean, you're fetching and shocking a lot, so the little life buffer is important for sure. No, I don't think the Snap really replaces Force. These are different cards that do different things. I just bet all your you bet all your channel points on that. That's awesome. And we did beat elves as well, yeah. Did I beat your spicy homebrew? No, I did not. Opening chest? No, I don't open chests in the chat. It's just terrible EV. Renin 6 is good against spirits, a lot of one-tap fixation. Yeah, but they have a lot of ways to work around it. They have Quellers, they have a bunch of different ways to protect their spirits. Like, I know that this is fine, I know that this is fine, this is fine, and this is fine, and this is very good, but like still, like spirits is always a very, very tough matchup to navigate from the control side of things. I would think Tron would be rough, field is good, but Ren, but like you said, you can't do that too much and clock seems slow. Well, we beat Tron today, so do you think the Seer cantrip's just not a problem at all? I mean, mulliganing is basically like a cantrip. Should have 100k channel points to open 1 chest. Nah, that's just throwing away money. I'm not into that. How can we improve the sideboard? I don't know because it's a matter of what do you want to target. The weirdest cards, or the most replaceable cards, let's put it that way, have felt these two. These two have been the most replaceable, with this being a third one, but like I really understand why this card is here and it probably should stay. I just don't like it. Like, again, like I was just saying how the red splash is super, super light, and a double red mana 3 drop. Like, for example, under most situations, I would be bringing this against Burn, and I just don't think that this deck can do it. Because if you're bringing this against Burn, that means that you're fetching for a tapped K3 Triumph on turn 1, or you are, and then that means that you're probably not doing anything on turn 1. Then you're fetching and shocking a Sacred Foundry, and potentially fetching and shocking for something else, you know. So you're gonna be taking infinite damage in order to cast your Anger. So I simply did not bring it at all. No, because like the idea for this is against Dredge, right? Like this is just, we are kind of naked against Dredge. In like we have like the Soul Guide and the Ashiok, but that's kind of about it. So I don't think, like, I understand why we're choosing Anger of the Gods instead of Radium, instead of Fire Spout, instead of like there are other options. Like we could play Radiant Flames, Fire Spout, Anger, or there's the white red one, the one that also gives lifelink to your creatures. I can't remember the name, but like there's a bunch of other alternatives that we have access to, but I think that the one that we want to play is Anger of the Gods because of Dredge specifically. Deafening Clarion, yeah, that's the one. So like obviously we have access to a bunch of different sweepers, but because of what we are trying to do, I think that Anger is just the one that we want to use, even though it sucks that, you know, one of the matchups, and again, it's not like you really need it against Burn, right? Maybe against Prowess I would bring it anyway, because as long as you can get rid of their creatures, you're kind of okay. But yeah, the big reason is obviously the exile, because of stuff like Dredge, because of stuff of Lurrus decks and stuff like that. So I do understand the addition of Anger. The Veils are the ones that I think are the ones that we really could live without that much trouble. But yeah, strong deck, good deck, recommend it, and that's gonna be about it. Hopefully you enjoyed as much as I did, because I do enjoy winning a lot. So going 10-0, it's definitely something that I enjoy a lot. But if you did, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video, folks. Take care, and bye-bye, YouTube.